Welcome to the Cisco CCNA 200-301 quiz on OSPF, Understanding OSPF Concepts. This quiz is designed to test your knowledge of key OSPF fundamentals like neighbor formation, link state advertisements, and route calculation. Sharpen your skills and see how well you understand one of the most powerful dynamic routing protocols. Let's get started. Question 1. Which of the following routing protocols uses link state logic? A. RIPv1, B. RIPv2, C. EIGRP, D. OSPF. Correct answer D. OSPF. Both versions of RIP use distance vector logic, and EIGRP uses a different kind of logic, characterized either as advanced distance vector or a balanced hybrid. Question 2. Which of the following routing protocols use a metric that is, by default, at least partially affected by link bandwidth? Choose two answers. A. RIPv1, B. RIPv2, C. EIGRP, D. OSPF. Correct answers C. EIGRP and D. OSPF. Both versions of RIP use the same hop count metric, neither of which is affected by link bandwidth. EIGRP's metric by default is calculated based on bandwidth and delay. OSPF's metric is a sum of outgoing interfaces costs, with those costs by default based on interface bandwidth. Question 3. Which of the following interior routing protocols support VLSM? Choose three answers. A. RIPv1, B. RIPv2, C. EIGRP, D. OSPF. Correct answers B. RIPv2, C. EIGRP, and D. OSPF. Of the listed routing protocols, only the old RIP version 1 RIO1 protocol does not support variable length subnet mask VLSM. Question 4. Two routers using OSPF v2 have become neighbors and exchange all LSAs. As a result, router R1 now lists some OSPF learned routes in its routing table. Which of the following best describes how R1 uses those recently learned LSAs to choose which IP routes to add to its IP routing table? A. R1 copies a route from every LSA into its routing table. B. R1 copies a route from certain types of LSAs into its routing table. C. R1 runs SPF against the LSAS to calculate the routes. D. R1 does not use the LSAS when choosing what routes to add. Correct answer C. R1 run SPF against the LSAS to calculate the routes. LSAs contain topology information that is useful in calculating routes, but the LSAs do not directly list the route that a router should add to its routing table. In this case, R1 would run a calculation called the shortest path first SPF algorithm against the LSAs to determine what IP routes to add to the IP table. Question 5. Which of the following OSPF neighbor states is expected when the exchange of topology information is complete between two OSPF neighbors? A. Two-way, B. Full, C. Up, D. Final. Correct answer B. Full. Neighboring OSPF routers that complete the database exchange are considered fully adjacent and rest in a full neighbor state. The up and final states are not OSPF states at all. The two-way state is either an interim state or a stable state between some routers on the same VLAN. Question 6. A company has a small, medium-sized network with 15 routers and 40 subnets and uses OSPF v2. Which of the following is considered an advantage of using a single area design as opposed to a multi-area design? A. It reduces the CPU processing overhead on most routes. B. It reduces the frequency of running the SPF algorithm due to interface status changes. C. It allows for simpler planning and operations. D. It reduces memory consumption. Correct answer C. It allows for simpler planning and operations. The correct answer is the one advantage using a single area design. The three wrong answers are advantages of using a multi-area design, with all reasons being much more important with a larger internetwork. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this video helped you on your journey to acing the Cisco CCNA 200-301 exam. Keep in mind, the CCNA exam doesn't have a fixed passing score. It typically falls between 800 and 850 out of 1,000, so aim high during your studies. If you have any questions or tips to share, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future content. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.